I call today's meeting of the Public Service Subcommittee to order. Madam Secretary, would you please take our roll?
Alexander, Dixie, Eldridge, Johnson, Kiesling, Powers, Rudder.
Here.
Chair Lady, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have any personal orders or recognition from any of our members tonight? Seeing none, we're ready to take up our regular calendar. We have had a request from Chairman Powers to go out of order tonight. He has to leave us a little sooner than expected. So we're going to take up item 10, which is House Bill 2114. Chairman Powers, you're recognized. Do we have a motion and a second on this bill? We do, and we do have an amendment filed on this bill. Could you give us your drafting code, please?
I am so sorry. I just had gotten off of that page. The drafting code is
013984.
That sounds right.
Is that it?
Yes, 13984. Sorry.
Do we have a motion and a second on this amendment? We do. And the amendment makes the bill. So let's go ahead and put that amendment on the bill. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. The amendment is on the bill. Chairman, you're recognized to explain your bill.
All right. Thank you. House Bill 2114, it just simply provides that when a legal notice is required to be put in a newspaper of general circulation, it must also be published on a news information website if available in that same county. The website has to be, and I've worked with Tennessee Press Association. We're not taking anything away from them, but we have a lot of people, as you all know, that especially the 30 and under crowd that never read a newspaper, physical newspaper like we do. And so we're just making sure that they get any kind of legal notices are also published on a website that is free to them. And there's certain qualifications the website has to be. It has to be headquartered in that county. It has to be updated regularly once a week. So it can't be like a social media or a Facebook page. It also has to be in continuous operation for at least a 1-year period. And it also has to disseminate news of general interest to the community. And it has no charge to the public that it does. So it will not affect the traditional newspapers anyway. It is simply as one free website per county if they're available to all the legal notices. And with that, I'll renew my motion and take any questions.
Do we have any questions? Chairman Kiesling.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just again to reiterate for the record, the Press Association has given you their blessing on this one. Is that correct? Chairman Perry?
Yes. Yeah. And I worked with them on this language to make sure that this was an actual, had a URL code actually located in that county. And they have an office where you can go in and do that. So they have to be headquartered there. And yes, and it will not affect TPA at all. I've worked with them.
Thank you, Chairman and Chair Lady. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have any more questions?
Question on bill.
Question's been called. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, signify by saying no. The ayes have it, and you move on to full committee.
All right. Thank you.
Next up, we have item number 11, also by Chairman Powers, and that is HJR 797. Do we have a motion and a second on this bill? We do. If there's no amendments been filed, and so Chairman, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Okay. This is a constitutional amendment, and what it is, each house determines the rules for their proceedings, and they may punish anybody for disorderly behavior. And with the occurrence of 2/3, expel a member and shall have all the powers necessary to do that. And this simply says a member who's expelled from office under this without resignation after January the 1st, 2027 is not eligible to hold a seat in or be employed by either house of the General Assembly. And that's the constitutional amendment. Of course, it'll have to go on the ballot for the governor's race. It's like any other constitutional amendment would. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Do we have any questions from any of our members? We do have someone here that wants to speak on this piece of legislation. So we'll go out of session. Macy Flaherty. Please state your name and who you're with, and you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Macy Fluharty. I'm a Davidson County resident. In 2023, after tragedy hit our city, thousands across both aisles made their demands of gun reform known, and yet still to this day, we are ignored. When a lack of care for our Tennessee children was made clear to us, our chosen representatives joined us in protest. Extremism from the far right was met with extreme measures stemming from our right to peacefully protest. And while these acts were unprecedented, expelling members for exercising this right was another extreme measure. Now this body is going to extremes again by changing our Constitution. Us Tennesseans deserve better than these games made up of extreme acts. We deserve a government that will not only compromise to protect us constituents, not a party that not only won't budge on a majority favored issue, but will expel members for their push for accountability and action. During special session last year, we saw our supermajority silence Representative Jones for going off topic, although he didn't in either instance that day. Since then, new House rules have been adopted, seemingly making it easier for this legislature to silence and expel members arbitrarily. While I fear voter suppression and our depressing political climate will continue to poorly affect voter turnout, if this resolution moves to ballot, we will advocate for voters to show up. Passing this revenge onto us feels unfair, to say the least. Instead of going to such extremes like changing our Constitution, our legislators should be mentoring and working alongside our outspoken representatives. We, the people, chose our representatives to work with you. We do not choose if they get expelled. We have seen this legislative body abuse their experience and power consistently, so much so that we are facing changes to our Constitution. How are we supposed to trust you with the type of power a resolution like this offers? Please vote no. There are better solutions to this.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from any of our members? Seeing none, thank you very much for
Thank
being
you.
with us today. We'll go back into session. Or do we have any questions? Any more questions? If not, I think the question's been called. And so we're ready to vote on this. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. And you move on to full committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, committee.
That brings us back to item number 1, which is House Bill 2090 by Chairman Hicks. Do we have a motion and a second? We do, and we have no amendments filed. So Chairman, you're recognized to explain your bill.
All right. Thank you, Chair Lady, members. House Bill 2090 will improve the time it takes for procuring goods and services by raising the threshold for informal purchases and for small purchases, require persons who file a protest to prove their case by clear and convincing evidence, which will improve the quality of protest before the CPO officer and will decrease protest caseloads overall. This will also allow the chief procurement officer to keep a protest bond if the CPO finds that a protest has been filed in bad faith or for an improper purpose, such as to cause needless delay, harass, limit competition, or cause needless increase in expenditures. And also it clarifies what procurement records can be viewed once the state announces an intent to award a contract.
Thank you for that explanation. Do we have any questions from our members? Seeing none, are we ready to vote? Question's been called. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please signify by saying no. And so the ayes prevail, and your bill moves on to full committee.
Thank you, Chair Lady and members.
Behind the budget. Oh, okay. Let me see. Item number 2, House Bill 1841 by Chairman Reagan has been rolled for 2 weeks. Item number 3, House Bill 1950 by Chairman Clements. We have a motion and a second. There are no amendments. So, Chairman, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chair and members. This legislation would designate June 6th of each year for observance as D-Day Remembrance Day in Tennessee, to honor and remember the brave men and women who fought valiantly and worked tirelessly to achieve the greatest amphibious landing and invasion in history, which led to the liberation of Europe from tyranny. This bill would not create a new legal holiday. I am honored to present this bill. I was actually frankly surprised when a constituent brought this to my attention that our state did not already observe this day. And so on behalf of that constituent and all the men and women who bravely served our country and represented the state of Tennessee overseas, I'm proud to introduce this legislation. And I know our good friend, Speaker Johnson here, represents a county with a lot of some of the most famous people who served in that battle and that invasion. So I would ask for your support of D-Day Remembrance Day.
Members, do we have any questions? We have the questions been called. All in favor signify by saying aye. I'm an aye. And all opposed say by saying no. The ayes have it. Your bill moves out to full committee.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and members. And I wish to take the next bill off notice.
Off notice.
I feel the wind blowing.
You feel the chilly wind blowing, eh?
Kelly's taught me well.
So item number 4, which is House Bill 2847 by Chairman Clemens, has been taken off notice. Our next item is item number 5, which is House Bill 2125 by Representative Grills. Do we have a motion and a second on this bill? We do, and there are no amendments filed, so Representative, you can explain your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill was given to me or brought to me by one of my constituents, and she was wanting to honor the contributions that Christians have made to our country. So I just thought we'd file it and name the month of November Christian Heritage Month.
Members, do we have any questions for our sponsor? Questions been called. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and you move on to full committee. Next, we have item number 6, which is House Bill 1554 by Representative Slater, and looks like that's been rolled for 1 week. Item number 7, House Bill 2736 by Representative Hemmer, that also has been rolled for 1 week. Item number 8, HJR 844 by Representative Darby. Do we have a motion and a second on this bill? There are no amendments, so Representative, please explain your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Lady, and Committee. The Special Olympics USA hosts the National Summer Games every 4 years, and the Special Olympics Tennessee has to submit a bid in late 2024 to host the 2030 Games. And with that said, HJR 844 is a resolution supporting Special Olympics Tennessee bid to host the 2030 Special Olympics US Games here in Nashville.
Question's been called. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? No. And the ayes have it. And so your bill moves on to full committee.
Thank you, Chair, Lady, and Committee.
Next up, we have item number 9, which is HJR 709 by Representative Bain. We're going to give, she's not in the audience. Oh, I see her. Yes, I didn't see you back there. Do we have a motion and a second on this bill? I'm sorry, but your bill fails for lack of a motion.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
That completes our calendar, and with no objection, we are adjourned.